Hello everyone, welcome back to In My Mug. I'm a National Cup Taster finalist and your coffee friend, Midori. Today's episode is El Limon Caturra Natural from Guatemala. Put your kettle on and let's get started. So, I have a question for you. When you hear coffee processing, what comes up in your mind? We've done so many In My Mug episodes, so you probably know a lot about processing. But if you want to learn more about it, there's a link down below in the description, so please check it out. So, do you know natural and washed process coffee, how they look quite different before and after roasted? Well. Today's your lucky day because we have El Limon washed and natural in-house. All right, so let's invite special guest today, Roland. Yay,
hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Good to be back.
So what do you have in your hand?
So here we have 2 lots of green coffee.
Okay.
So these are both Caturra, both from the El Limon farm. And we have the washed, and here we have the natural.
Wow, they look quite different, aren't they? So could you tell me more about natural and washed process?
Yes, so the big difference is going to be whether you're using water to get rid of that cherry or not. So in the wash process, we're going to use water and we're going to try and get rid of the cherry and the fruit really early on in the process. We maybe give it a bit of rest overnight and then through a machine to demucilage it, we're going to use water and we're going to get rid of the fruit and we're going to let the beans sit in that water until that mucilage breaks down, possibly. Maybe we're going to use water in the machine to break it down. Either way, these variations on the wash process, we're going to end up with a coffee which we can see the colour is fairly darker green than the natural. It is very even, very consistent. And nearly everything on the outside of the bean, the outer layers, the silver skin is all gone. That's very typical of a washed coffee. But a natural, we're going to sit it in that cherry, and we're going to put the cherries out in the sun and let it dry. And what that means is the little variations in temperature across the mass of those drying cherries is going to mean that some of them have a little bit more sugar, some of them have a little less sugar, some of them are going to ferment a little bit faster or a little bit slower. So the beans are all going to be slightly different colours. These ones, we can also see they're a little bit paler, a little bit more yellowy. And that's again really typical of the natural process.
I can see a lot of yellow skin on here.
Yeah, so we see the silver skin. Now the silver skin would be on here as well, but because we've let that coffee dry with the cherry around it, and that silver skin is still inside, when we've come to get rid of that dried up fruit at the end, we're going to do that in a similar kind of way. At the dry mill, we're just going to rubble off that fruit and leave the bean behind. We're going to get rid of the parchment underneath it, but underneath that parchment is the silver skin. And quite often, because of that drying process, it just sticks to the bean a little bit more than it does when it's been in water and soaked off. And we can often see, there's that little bit there, just a very, very thin layer that you have to scrape it off with your thumbnail even just to kind of get it.
Yeah, I can see it.
And you might even see that little bits of that when you've had it roasted. Sometimes you might have had little bits of that skin around in there because that's very typical of the processing.
Wow, that's very fascinating.
So what we can think about is how in naturals we have all of that fruit around the bean as it's drying and all of that sugar's fermenting and that creates those changes in the bean. Whereas in the washed, we're going to use a lot more water and we're going to get that fruit away from the bean. So we end up with a very different appearance, quite often, and also a very different flavour, of course, which you're going to taste when you come to drink it.
Wow. Thank you very much, Roland.
Pleasure. Right. See you soon.
Bye. That was really fascinating, wasn't it? So this El Limon Caturra Natural is from Palencia region in Guatemala. So it's produced by Beto. He's been owner for this farm for about 21 years. And he's not only an amazing coffee producer, but also a mayor of Palencia. I actually had an opportunity to meet him back in 2019 when he was visiting in the UK. He's such a lovely person, and I can instantly feel that he's loved by people he works with. So Palencia is not traditionally recognized as a coffee producing region, but they came 14th place in Cup of Excellence this year, which is really impressive. And Palencia will be for sure recognized in the future. All right, now you know everything about this coffee. Let's get brewing and taste it. Okay, so today it might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna try and use French press cafetiere to brew this coffee. So you need 1 French press and 56 grams of coffee and 750 grams of water. For the full recipe, click the link in the description box below. So Roland, coffee's ready. Look, so I brewed with French press. Oh yeah, thank you. It might be a little hot.
It is a little hot, but it is one of the nice things about a French press.
Yes.
It definitely stays warm. Now, for me, this natural is really kind of delicately processed. So we don't get those really big kind of funky flavors. It's much more clean and delicate.
But it definitely has like Guatemalan, orangey zest kind of flavor.
Yeah, some orange zest there, I think. And this kind of melon flavor that I really like. It's not big and in your face. It's kind of that soft, sweet meloniness.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely.
And then the aftertaste gives you a little bit more like cranberry. Now there is a little bit of that fermentation-y character, that kind of funk from the natural processing, but it is low, and I think this is still really hot. As it starts to cool down a little bit, that'll come through a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Did you learn something new today? Please leave in the comment below what you taste in this El Limon Natural. And make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you're not going to miss any episodes in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Happy brewing.